Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. In today's video, we are going to be talking about some affordable fragrances that are dupes for some really high-end fragrances, and specifically we're going to be talking about Julianna'S Perfumes. So they reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try their fragrances and asked if I wanted to do a collab, and I told them what I tell everybody: I need to try your product first. So I've heard a lot of good things about Julianna'S Perfumes. There are a lot of people who've done reviews on this perfume house, and I was super curious for myself to see if these are actually good dupes or not. So they sent me over a bunch of perfumes to test out, and I've been testing them for the past couple of weeks now. I've really been comparing them against their originals. I've been taking notes, and I have my thoughts laid out and solid for you guys on whether or not I recommend Julianna'S Perfumes to you. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. I do mostly perfume, beauty, and makeup on this channel. If you are into that kind of content, I would love it if you would subscribe. And to my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for all your continued support. I really appreciate you. If you're interested in hearing my thoughts on Julianna'S Perfumes, then just keep on watching. Before we get started, I have on my eyes today the brand new Pat McGrath Mothership 10 Moonlight Seduction eyeshadow palette. I did a full dedicated review on this palette. If you missed that, I will leave it in the description box. But I always get questions on what's on my eyes, so I thought I'd share that real quick. Alright, so when Julianna'S Perfumes reached out to me, I was super curious about the house. I've heard a lot of things about them, and I didn't agree to do a collab with them right away. I told them that I wanted to sample their stuff first and make sure that I felt comfortable speaking about it on my channel, and they were absolutely cool with that and sent them over to me. So I really did appreciate that. I thought that was a really good sign. When a brand is willing to send you their product without any kind of a commitment, that's usually a good sign that they really believe in their product. And then they sent me this email. I want to read this little part to you here. It says, "We kindly ask that you provide your completely unbiased opinion about our fragrances and your overall experience with us. Feel free to talk about what fragrances you like, love, and hate." So of course I was going to be 100% honest with you guys anyway, but I really do like that they sent that over. I don't know, that's good vibes for me right there. You know, when they're not trying to tell you what to say and that you absolutely have to say something positive. They want my unbiased opinion, and that is exactly what I'm going to give you. So thank you very much to Julianna'S Perfumes for sending these over to me. I really do appreciate it. All right, let's get started. All right, so this is what it comes in. This is the packaging. And I think it's really nice. This outer box is really nice. It feels nice and soft. And for a dupe house, I feel like the presentation is really nice. And then you open it up and you have this inside. So again, presentation is nice. This is a glass bottle. I feel like it's pretty luxe looking. So I really appreciate the fact that it comes with 2 samples of your choosing. So when you go on the website to order your fragrance, you can pick the 2 samples that they send. And the coolest part about this is that they have a little tester back there. So the tester is back there of the fragrance, so you can actually try the tester out first before you decide to keep this. If you don't like it, you have 60 days to return it, no questions asked, for a full refund, and you do get to keep the little samples that they send you. So if you don't like it, then you can send it back within 60 days, but you have to keep, I've taken it off, but there's like a plastic thing with a little warning sign, a little warning label that tells you not to take it off and to test it out first. I also like the fact that you can go on their website and vote for their fragrances. So all the fragrances have been voted on by their customers and their fans, people on Instagram and on their website. You can choose what fragrance you want them to dupe next. The most recent one that I think they have done is Angel Share. I think that is a brand new one that just came out. I'm super curious about that one because, as you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, you know I absolutely love Angel Share by Kilian. It is one of my all-time favorite fragrances, and I'm super curious. Another really new one that they just came out with, this one's been out I think for maybe a couple of months now, but it's a relatively new release from them, and this is called APHRODITE'S Rose. So this is a dupe for Initio Parfums Atomic Rose. I love Atomic Rose. I am a huge fan of Atomic Rose. It is one of my all-time favorite perfumes. Why don't I have a bottle, you ask? Because as I've explained before, I feel like it's a very specific fragrance, and I feel like it's a fragrance I could only wear in cold weather. It's very potent, it's very strong, it's very gorgeous, it seems super special, almost like, I hate to use this word, I don't want to just throw it around, but it does seem like a masterpiece to me. I have probably enough samples to make up a full bottle. But the reason why I don't pull the trigger is because I feel like this is so special, and I only have a couple of months of winter where I live, and I feel like I would have a very limited amount of time to wear this fragrance. So I haven't bit the bullet and actually purchased a full bottle, even though I think it is stunning, like the best rose fragrance I've ever smelled. When I heard they had a dupe of it, I was a bit skeptical because this one is like so special. I had a hard time believing that this was gonna be it. So I'm gonna spray Atomic Rose on this hand. This is so good, you guys. This is a spicy, it has pink pepper in the opening and bergamot. There are a couple of different roses in here, and the rose that's in here, it smells super deep, super dark, and very seductive. Just uber sexy, spicy rose with vanilla and amber in the base. So Aphrodite's Rose, I was nervous to say the least. We're gonna give it a little bit of a spray here just to refresh my memory. So when I first sprayed this, the first time I ever tried it, I was like, uh-oh, when I compared the two side by side, because they didn't smell the same to me. So when I first sprayed this, this is a bit different. It has a different opening than the original Atomic Rose. Atomic Rose, I get the spiciness right away. I get that deep rose right away. This one seems a little bit sweeter. So when you first spray it, I'd say it's probably about 80–85% the same. There is quite a bit of a difference in the opening. However, the magic starts to happen when this starts to dry down. So in my notes, I had about 10 minutes. At the 10-minute mark, Aphrodite's Rose starts to transform into more of that spicy rose, deep, dark, sexy, vanilla amber scent. And by the time this is completely dried down, I can't tell a difference between the two. So not 100% spot on in the opening, but the dry down is the same. So I was shocked. I couldn't believe it because, like I said, this is a little bit different. This is a lot sweeter in the opening. Atomic Rose, when you first spray it, the rose is already like developed and there and ready to go. You know, it's this deep, dark, sexy rose. I feel like Aphrodite's Rose takes a little while to get there, but it does get there once it starts to dry down. That spicy, deep, dark, sexy rose starts to come through. It's just not the same in the opening, but the mid to dry down is pretty close. Now, one thing they did spot on with this fragrance is the intensity. So Atomic Rose is a beast fragrance, and Aphrodite's Rose is a beast fragrance as well. So I do think this is a good dupe, but it's not 100% spot on in my opinion. If you are interested in Atomic Rose, but you don't want to pay that kind of money, because I think Atomic Rose is like over $300. If you don't want to pay that, this is $60, and I don't think that you'd be disappointed. I think it's a really great dupe. Not 100%, but you would have to be like pressing your nose into the fragrance in order to be able to tell the difference by the time it dries down. And I think it smells incredible. I think the performance is incredible. This is an extrait de parfum, and so of course it's super incredible. It performs like an extrait de parfum. And yeah, I really do enjoy this one. So I'm glad I have this. This makes me feel like I really won't buy Atomic Rose now. You know, I feel like this is a good dupe for it. Yeah, I just don't see myself wearing Atomic Rose that often. So I'm very, very happy to have this one in my collection. And I think that it is a very nice perfume. All right, another perfume that I have had on my wish list for a very long time is by MFK, and this is Gentle Fluidity Gold. I have a sample of the real thing. I really love this perfume. I think this is an incredible fragrance. It's so good, you guys. I have been debating on whether I want a full bottle of this one. The only thing that was holding me back on it is the fact that it has kind of that Roses Vanille and Intense Cafe kind of vibe to it. However, with that said, this is like the much smoother, better blended, much more elevated, much more wearable version of that scent profile. And instead of rose, this doesn't have rose in it. This has juniper berries. And I can kind of tell the difference. This doesn't have that like jammy rose that Intense Cafe has. You can tell it's more like a berry-esque type of jammy berry, juniper berry, because that's what it is. Julianna'S has a dupe of this one, and it's called Liquid Gold. This is probably my favorite dupe that they sent me out of all of these. This is spot on, like spot on dupe, okay? I was floored. I was so excited when I tested this out because I cannot, from opening, mid to end, cannot tell a difference. I mean, I'm blown away. I'm blown away by this perfume. Fantastic job. The bonus part of this is that I think this one lasts longer. So again, this is an Extrait de Parfum. Gentle Fluidity Gold isn't a bad performing perfume by any means. I found it to be a very pleasant, moderate performing perfume, but this one is a little better. It's a little better with the performance. Not a little better with the way it smells, but a little better with the performance. So I have been wearing this one. I've worn this a couple of times now. I've gotten compliments on this, and I have been thoroughly enjoying this fragrance. So if you love Gentle Fluidity Gold, but you don't want to pay the price, $60, spot on, and better performing. Highly recommend this one. So if you have not smelled Gentle Fluidity Gold, it's basically vanilla, amber, there's some musk, some woody notes, some juniper berries, which kind of reminds me of blueberry pie for some reason. I don't know, it's like a smooth, intense cafe or roses vanille without any of the harshness, without any of that syntheticness that you get from those perfumes. Much, much smoother, much softer, much more wearable. But instead of rose, the juniper berries reminds me of blueberry pie. I don't know if anybody gets that, but anyway, it's beautiful. I truly love this one, but I do not feel the need to run out and buy this anymore because this one is the exact same from beginning to end, and I highly recommend. It's fantastic. Another new release, or a newer release from Julianna'S Perfumes, is Head Over Heels, and this is a dupe for Rolling in Love by Kilian. Now I don't have Rolling in Love, but I did go to the store. I did test it out in store. I sprayed it on a tester strip. I sprayed it on my arm, and I knew right away that it wasn't my favorite scent. And this smells like it. It smells pretty close. So I do think this is a good dupe. I don't have that one to test side by side. I'm going by memory, but what my memory tells me is that it's pretty close. Yeah, the Kilian one smelled pretty close to this one. So in the opening of Rolling in Love, you have almonds and you have musk. And that's the opening, which is kind of strange because musk is usually like in the mid or base, usually in the base of perfumes. I mean, it's pretty. It's pretty, okay? I don't know. It's pretty, but it's not my favorite. This is what Rolling in Love smelled like in the store because I remember being baffled by it. It smelled like very almondy, like too much almond for me. I love almond in my fragrances, but it was a bit too much. Mixed with that musk, it kind of made it feel a little bitter. Like there's sweetness to this perfume, but it's not overly sweet, and there's something in here that smells a bit bitter to me. Oh, it's almond milk in the opening, at least of the Rolling in Love. Almond milk and musk, or ambrette. And in the mid, you have iris and freesia, which is what I think makes this quite powdery. It's an interesting fragrance. And then you have tuberose and vanilla, tonka bean, and more musk in the base. So very musky, not overly sweet, lots and lots and lots of almond, kind of powdery. Anyway, I do think this is a good dupe. Just because it's not my cup of tea, just because it's not my favorite scent profile, doesn't mean it's not a good perfume. This does smell pretty close to the Kilian Rolling in Love. I think they did a good job on this dupe. The bonus, if you are a fan of Rolling in Love and you like this scent profile, I think you might want to give this a try because I've heard from multiple people that Rolling in Love does not perform well. Again, this is an Extrait de Parfum and this performs really well. They did a good job with this fragrance. I think it's good. It's just not my favorite scent. I'm going to give it some more time. I'm going to kind of try it out a little bit more. It is pretty and it might grow on me, so I am not ready to declutter this one, but I think it's good, so I do recommend it. All right, up next they sent me a sample of Dark Opulence, and this is a dupe for Guerlain's TONKA Imperiale. I've tried TONKA Imperiale. I had a sample of TONKA Imperiale and I didn't care for it. I didn't like it at all. It was too piney for me. There's like pine in it, and I think there's rosemary in that fragrance, and the green notes in there just were too much for me. I mean, it did smell really nice. It has bitter almond, rosemary, and bergamot in the opening, and then in the mid you have tonka bean, tobacco, and jasmine, and then the base you have incense, cedar, and pine. That's TONKA Imperiale. well. But the pine and the rosemary seem to be pretty strong. I remember not caring for it too much and thinking it didn't have enough like sweetness to it. So this is Dark Opulence, and I thought, you know what, I'm not gonna like it. It's gonna smell like it. You know what I mean? It's just not gonna be for me. However, I actually like this one. So this doesn't smell exactly like Tonka Imperiale. If you're looking for a 100% dupe, this isn't going to be, yeah, this isn't 100% spot on. So in the dupe, Dark Opulence, those green notes are toned down. They're still there. They're still there, but they're toned down, and this is sweeter. This is a sweeter version of Tonka Imperiale with less harsh greenness, like right in your face. That pine is there, but it's just softly in the background. And I actually prefer Dark Opulence way more than Tonka Imperiale. This is a very beautiful version, but it's not 100% the same, especially in the opening. When you spray this one, you can tell a difference for sure. So not 100% dupe, but still a really good fragrance, and I actually prefer this one to the original. Very good performing perfume, and I am actually considering getting a bottle of this one because I think it's gorgeous. But this is more of like a holiday fragrance. I feel like this is something I would wear in fall and winter. If you wanted Tonka Imperiale to be a bit sweeter and a little less green, then I do recommend Dark Opulence. I think it smells fantastic. Up next we have Inner Beauty. This is a dupe for DELINA by Parfums de Marly. I have to say, you guys, this is one of those, this was a close one. This was like a close tie for Gentle Fluidity Gold as far as accuracy. I have a sample of DELINA, and I was shocked at how close these are from the beginning to the end. There's a little tiny bit of a difference, but it's very minute, and you have to be like super picky to point it out. Like, you have to stick your nose in the fragrance and really be looking for those differences in order to be able to smell it. Definitely the sillage is the exact same. Very impressed with Inner Beauty for sure. I'm actually wearing it right now. This is the weirdest thing. I don't know why this keeps happening to me. So about a year ago, I tested out DELINA, and I didn't think that I liked it because it had a kind of sour rhubarb tart note in the opening, and I have been saying ever since that I don't like it. I prefer DELINA exclusive, and the original DELINA is just not for me. So I haven't really tried it since, and I just thought, well, I'm not going to like Inner Beauty, but I do want to test it out to see if it's a good dupe or not, but I'm not going to care for it because I don't care for DELINA. So when I sprayed this one on, I was shocked at how much I liked it. I sprayed it on my skin and I smelled it, and I was like, wow, that smells incredible. And I thought, okay, well, this can't be a good dupe then. This doesn't smell like DELINA, because if it does, I wouldn't like it, right? So I got my DELINA sample out, put it on my skin, compared it next to the other one, and I was like, wow, I really like this. So yeah, I've been saying this entire time that I don't care for DELINA. You know, that happens. I think it just happens. Tastes change, noses change, skin chemistry change. I'm in a different climate than I was back when I tried it a year ago, so who knows why I like it now, but I think it's absolutely fantastic. I really do like DELINA, and I absolutely love the dupe. So I can't really tell the difference. This smells spot on to the OG DELINA. So if you want to save some coin, if you don't want to spend $300 something on DELINA, this is 60 bucks. It performs really nice. Now, one thing, the only difference that I will say about Inner Beauty to the OG DELINA is that this is not the beast that DELINA is. So this is a good performing perfume, don't get me wrong, it's an extrait de parfum, but DELINA, the OG DELINA, is a monster of a fragrance that will last on you forever, for days. It'll be on your clothes for days and days. But this one, it's not quite the beast, that's all. Still a really good performing perfume, and I think that you could save a lot of money. I don't know if I'm going to get the OG DELINA or if I'm going to get this one. So when it comes to dupes for me, it needs to be because there's something not 100% that I'm in love with the OG. Maybe the performance isn't there with the original, and the dupe is a better performing perfume, so I'd rather have that one. Or maybe there's a slight tweak in the dupe that I actually prefer over the original, or there's the case of the original being like discontinued or limited edition. You can't really get your hands on it very easily. A dupe is a lot of times a good alternative. So really the only benefit to Inner Beauty is the price, which that's a pretty big benefit, by the way, because again, $60 compared to how expensive DELINA is definitely a good advantage. But I kind of am wondering if I want the OG DELINA. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I do know that this dupe is really, really good and almost 100% spot on. The intensity is not quite there, but it smells pretty darn close. Highly recommend if you want to save some money on DELINA. Up next, I have the sample of Bad Bitch. This is a dupe for Rouge Malikite, or maybe it's pronounced Rouge Malikite. I'm not sure. I've heard it pronounced both ways, but for today, we're going to say Rouge Malikite. So I have a sample that, as you can see, I am down to the nitty-gritty here of Rouge Malikite. I've babied this thing because I have really been trying to determine if I want this or not. I don't have to use a lot of it. I've actually worn this sample several times because this is a pretty good performing fragrance. It's pretty strong, and I keep going back and forth on if I want to shell out the money on this because I think it's absolutely stunning. To me, Rouge Malikite is a jasmine and tuberose bomb, especially the jasmine. It kind of gives me alien vibes. It kind of gives me Dolce & Gabbana, The Only One Intense vibes. But if you were to take those fragrances and make them so much better blended and so much smoother, in my opinion, that's what Rouge Malikite smells like to me. It's very sexy. It is gorgeous. I love the red bottle, and I think it's a beautiful fragrance. However, it is extremely pricey. So I was super excited about Bad Bitch because I thought, yes, this is going to be my Rouge Malikite. Unfortunately, I don't really think this one is the closest dupe that they have. It definitely smells like Rouge Malikite, don't get me wrong. There's definitely that Rouge Malikite vibe in here. It does smell, I'd say probably about 85% similar, but what makes Rouge Malikite super special to me isn't quite in this fragrance, especially in the opening. I mean, I hate to say that because this smells really similar. There's these subtle differences. When I just spray it by itself, when I spray it on this card and smell it, I'm like, oh yeah, that smells like Rouge Malikite. But it's not as smooth and it's not as strong as Rouge Malikite. I really get the difference when I put the two side by side. I'm gonna have like 7 different perfumes on me. Yeah, Rouge Malikite is a bit richer. I think that's the right word. And the jasmine seems a bit smoother. So this one isn't my favorite dupe from the house of Julianna'S Perfumes. I think that it's a nice one. It smells really nice. I think it's good. It's a good perfume, but I don't think it's nearly as good as Rouge Malikite. It's not quite as good in my opinion. So yeah, I do like it, but I don't love it. So I'll just leave it at that. All right, speaking of fragrances that are hard to get, the next one is a dupe for Alien Essence Absolue. This is called Scarlet Letter. This is a fragrance that is a dupe for a very coveted fragrance that's been discontinued that a lot of people were super upset about. So if you didn't get your hands on Alien Essence Absolue like I didn't, and you missed out, it is super difficult to find, and you're going to pay through the nose probably for a bottle because it has been discontinued. So you can't get it anymore, and I find that to be a little sad. Now for me, I have never actually smelled the original Alien Essence Absolute, so I'm not going to talk about this one too much because I don't know if this is a good spot-on dupe for that one. What I do know is that I love Scarlet Letter. This is such a gorgeous fragrance, and I do feel like I get that hint of that alien DNA in here, so I kind of feel like maybe it's a good dupe, but I don't know that for sure. However, I do know I'm getting a full bottle of this. So this is stunningly gorgeous. Stunningly gorgeous. Oh my gosh, if this is what the OG Alien Essence Absolute smells like, I can see why so many people are upset. This is fantastic. I can see why so many people are upset that this has been discontinued. Why would you discontinue something that smells like this? Notes are jasmine, cardamom, cashmere wood, heliotrope, orange blossom, vanilla, musk, amber, patchouli, and sugar. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a full bottle of this. I absolutely love it. There's cashmere wood, so it feels super smooth like cashmere. That's pretty accurate. I love the orange blossom and the vanilla in here. This is stunning. Again, beautiful performance, extrait de parfum, absolutely gorgeous. All right, up next we have Call Me By Your Name. This is a dupe for Guerlain's Gourmand Coquine. I always want to say cocaine. I don't know why. I always call it Gourmand Cocaine, and I'm like, no, that's not right. That's not right. It's Gourmand Coquine, I think is how you pronounce it. But anyway, it is a coveted and very difficult fragrance to get. I'm not going to talk about this one too much. This one has notes of chocolate, pink pepper, vanilla, amber, jasmine, labdanum, benzoin, brown sugar, and musk. I have never smelled Gourmand Coquine, so I do not want to tell you whether or not this is a good dupe or not because I have no idea, and I would be speaking in ignorance basically. I don't know if this is a good dupe. This doesn't really do anything for me. Like, this perfume in and of itself, I'm not like in love with it, which I imagine, like, the way people make Gourmand Coquine sound is that it's the best thing they've ever smelled. It's super popular. People absolutely love it. It's out of stock. You can't find it. This one, I don't know, it kind of smells like a Tootsie Roll to me. I don't really love it, but again, I don't know if this is what your OG smells like or not. Yeah, it's not my favorite. I won't be getting a full bottle of it, but I just wanted you to be aware that there is a dupe for Gourmand Coquine. If you've been looking for a dupe for that fragrance, Julianna'S Perfume does have one. I don't know if it's a good dupe or not, so definitely check that out. If you know, again, please let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are on Call Me By Your Name. Last but certainly not least, we are going to talk about A Night to Remember. So this is a dupe for Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy. This is bergamot, pink pepper, orange blossom, jasmine, geranium, rose, honeysuckle, vanilla, sugar, caramel, amber, and musk. I have a decant of the OG Kilian Love Don't Be Shy. I've compared the two side by side, and I will tell you this is spot on. Such a fantastic dupe. I love this. As you can see, I have worn this a few times. I've been super impressed with this one, and if you are looking for a dupe, if you don't want to pay $300 for this perfume, you can buy this one. It's a fraction of the price for Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy. This smells like Fruity Pebbles, and the OG Love Don't Be Shy smells like Fruity Pebbles to me. It's very wearable. It's very good and yummy and sweet and everyday. I find Love Don't Be Shy to be super, super easy to wear, like everyday friendly for me. The problem and the reason why I haven't bought the OG is because the performance sucks. Just to be blunt, you know what I mean? Like, the performance is not there. I am not paying $300 for this fragrance because the performance is not good. I can barely smell it after a couple of hours. It doesn't project. It doesn't last. This is an extrait de parfum, and this performs beautifully. So if you're looking for Love Don't Be Shy, but you want something that actually projects and lasts longer than like 2 hours, call me. What is this? A Night to Remember. Not Call Me By Your Name. A Night to Remember is definitely for you. I wore this all day yesterday and I could smell it for almost the entire day. So definitely a better performer than the OG. I would much rather have A Night to Remember than the OG, so I will be ordering a full bottle of this fragrance because I love it and I think it's excellent. It smells from beginning to end. It smells exactly the same. I could not tell the difference. I wore them side by side. They did a fantastic job in my opinion, and I absolutely love this one and highly recommend if you want a better long-lasting alternative to Love Don't Be Shy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I would love to hear from you guys what you think. Have you tried any of these? There are a couple of other ones from them that I didn't get a chance to try, so if you have any experience with Julianna'S perfumes, please let us all know in the comment section. I love to hear from you. If you did like this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!